This was a call that we had in Brooksville. It wasn't that long ago, case where I kind of thought the man might be possessed just because of the way he would call and talk, and he would cry, and he'd call several times. It's like they're mad that you're going to be coming out. And I said, well, that's even more reason that we need to come out. We didn't go out there thinking we were going to do an exorcism. We went out there thinking we had something for real, you know, or there was problems with this guy.
My wife is the founder of Florida Paranormal. One thing that she didn't say about herself, which I'm very proud, she is an ordained minister. Church in Leesburg, who has a exorcist that used to work for the Catholic Church, is the one who taught her most of her skills.
We met up with the guy, and Crystal, who's our sensitive, she walked around the house, and I walked with her ever since she went into that trance in another case. I wanted to make sure that she was okay, so I stayed with her. And she could walk in and she could feel the energy. She laid on the bed on one side, and she said she felt fear, and that just happened to be where the girlfriend slept. She laid on the other side where the client sleeps, and she says she felt angry, upset, mad. We walked into the back of the house, and there was a closet, and she went and hugged the clothes, and she says, there's something here, and she says, it's not good, it's evil. Then she went and walked all around the outside of the house. My son filmed this too, and she would touch certain areas of the house, and the lights, the flashlights and all would dim every time she'd touch it. We finally went in and we split up. I stayed with this person and did an interview while the other team went into the bedroom and did some investigating. He told us that the week before the waterbed had levitated with them in it. And the waterbed was actually off balance because after the levitation, when it came down, it missed the brick that it had been sitting on. So that's why it was off balance. After talking to him for a while, he decided to test Crystal and see if she was, you know, how sensitive she really was. He brought out this piece of cloth. He didn't show me what it was. But he said, he gave it to her, and he said, I want to know if this is what you think is evil. She held it and closed her eyes, and she says, this is mine. You can't take it. She says, it's mine, I earned it. But I want to cry. She says, I want to cry. She says, somebody else had this before, and it's mine. You can't take it, it's mine, but I so want to cry. And she kept this up and finally opens her eyes, and we looked at the client, and he's standing there just crying. Turned out it was a motorcycle jacket of colors, and he admitted that he had murdered many people back in the 90s while he was in this gang. And she hit it, you know, right on, you know, that's what it was. She was picking up, you know, that he was very attached to this jacket. He felt he had earned it. But he said that it was really bothering him now that he was old, thinking about, you know, these people he killed had families and people that loved him and stuff. And he was having a hard time dealing with that. Maybe that's what opened the door, I don't know. So me and a couple others go into the bedroom, do the investigation. I leave Crystal out with him, and we're in the bedroom, and I'm not really getting any results until I say, if you don't show yourself or do something, I'm going to go get the holy water. Well, all of a sudden, meters light up. I'm like, okay. I had to get, you know, act mad, tough, you know. But the meters would light up every time I'd mention that. And then it would just go away. I said, you want me to go get this guy and bring him in here, the client? Well, the meters lit up bright. So I said, I'll take that as a yes. So I told the client, I said, come on in the bedroom with us. He comes in, he closes the door, and I said, okay, he's here now. What do you want to say? All of a sudden, the client is picked up and thrown into the bedroom door really hard. We thought he broke it. And, you know, the people from the living room come in. What happened? What happened? And I'm like, wow. He's all out of breath because it knocked the breath out of him. I'm like, that's just amazing. Crystal pulled me aside and she says, listen, she says, when you were inside, she says, I took the oil, the holy oil that was blessed, and quickly went up to him and his girlfriend and made a quick cross on their arms without them knowing it. No reaction from the girlfriend, but he got really agitated and angry. And he knew he was angry, but he didn't know why. He had told us before we even got there, he said, once he walks into the house, he just wants to kill his girlfriend. This was something we couldn't tell her, of course. He asked us not to, but that's what was going on. He was just really angry, he wanted to kill somebody, he had dreams every night of killing somebody. But when she told me the reaction about the oil, I knew that this is clearly a possession. So I went out and I talked to him. He agreed to go through an exorcism, although he said he didn't think he needed one, but he would do it. He sits there and he starts shaking all of a sudden in the chair. His lower lip is quivering, his upper lip is snarling up, and it just looks like a totally different person. And all of a sudden he says something. It's a different language. I couldn't make it out, and I'm like, speak up. Speak up or you can be heard. And he says it again. I said, I don't know what it is, and I don't care what it is, you know, and we went on. And actually, we did have to stop at one point. His blood pressure got up really high. So we let him take some pills, and it came down. It was probably another hour we had to wait. And then we went on in and finished the exorcism, and he was attacked several times. Up in the shoulder, he had pain, and then the final pain was right here. He was screaming, he was doubled over. We got him to the couch. I continued the exorcism. And finally, with him screaming and all, the demon left. He was expelled. And the client came, you know, opened his eyes and just looked around. He says, how'd I get over here? He had no idea how he got to the couch. He didn't remember anything. It was just unreal, but this is the kind of stuff we deal with. Now, the demon's still in the area. He's gone back in, obviously. He's still there knocking on the doors. And they see the black shadows and all. And as long as there's a chance that he'll let him back in, the demon's not going to leave. But he's doing much better. When I talk to him, completely sounds different. He's happy. I don't worry about him going off killing himself like he talked about earlier. And I certainly don't worry about him killing his girlfriend. But now he's thinking maybe the girlfriend might be possessed because some strange things are happening there. And she walks by an air conditioner, it comes on, just little things like that. So this case is absolutely not closed. We'll probably end up going back again. When? I'm not sure. But that's my exorcism case.